It's almost always the little things.
Very exactly.
And anybody can do it. You don't have to be a huge recognized brand. Anybody can do it. Totally. And then the other thing that managers, CEOs, executives, leaders of organizations have to understand is that they are not the people that have the biggest influence on the customer. It's the frontline employees who look that person in the eye, smile, say, I can do that for you, and I'm happy to do that for you. And managers are always taking credit, saying, oh, we built this culture. And maybe they built the culture, but unless it's delivered on by those frontline people, it's meaningless. But anybody can do that.
It takes every single employee to make the brand more successful. It takes one employee to kill it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's amazing how easy it is to give people a good experience and how much of that experience is lacking.
I mean, again, if you go in with the assumption, I leave my apartment every day with the assumption that everyone in the world sucks. It's just very easy. You know, it makes life very simple. Everyone, my kid, my wife, and my cat are the three people in the universe that don't suck every morning when I leave. And sometimes it's just my kid and my wife. Sometimes it's just the cat. Most of the time it's just the cat. If I'm walking around with that baseline, dude, just smile at me and you'll win me over.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't need anything else. Just smile, for God's sake. I mean, this is New York.
That's not a trivial behavior.
It's not.
Smile, eye contact, responsiveness, simple responsiveness. It's like basic.
Now, when you were at Disney, did they teach that? You know, we talked about when I was in the training with you, we talked about you can hear a smile on the phone. How do you teach that? How do you, I know you got to hire.
Yeah, it goes back to right fit hiring, but when it doesn't happen, then there has to be accountability. So it's not only right fit hiring, then you give folks parameters. Disney had what they called service standards. And these standards, there were 7 of them, and those were the things that managers knew that they held people accountable for when it came to guest interaction. And they were simple things like make eye contact and smile. That was number 1, in fact. Yeah. Display appropriate body language at all times, right? So it was those things. We don't lean on trash cans. We don't, fold our arms. All of those things. And they had just 7 of these simple little service guidelines. And they made sure that every single cast member, that's their employees, knew what those 7 service guidelines were. They trained them to understand this is what it looks like in your job. If you're scooping ice cream on Main Street, this is what it looks like to demonstrate the 7 service guidelines. If you are working IT in a back office, this is what it looks like. So they give you all of the information, but then what it really boils down to is accountability. And, we always say if you go to Disney often enough, you will eventually meet a disenchanted cast member. And they don't last very long, and they are usually asked very quickly to find their happiness elsewhere. But, and they hold to that line. And so it is about hiring right fit, and then it is about giving them everything they need to be successful. But the third thing that so many companies don't do well, because managers tend to shy away from it, is that accountability piece. And it's every single supervisor's, managers, and executive's responsibility to not only role model the 7 service guidelines themselves, but then to hold the employees accountable. Those who are not doing it, there has to be some consequences for the action, right? And because when you're driving loyalty, it's the simple things like we said, and we know from polls and from studies that there are 2 or 3 just basic drivers of loyalty. And then you have to figure out how they fit into your culture. And the first is